I'm Steve from Criminal Damage.
And I'm Jamie from Terror, and you're watching The Roosta Show.
You know, it's just my opinion. Oh, hello, how you doing? This is Rooster Jones, and welcome to Rooster Show. I appreciate you. I love you. We're like this, or like that, something like that. Well, either way, today we have a friend among many friends, Simon Karnes, and we're gonna find out about this guy. He has a podcast, and we're gonna find out about that too. And we'll see what's cracking. How you doing?
Good. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Yes, I can definitely hear you. There we go.
now? Welcome to this sick world of the Rooster Show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you tonight, sir?
I am feeling groovy, man.
Nice.
Yeah, you're feeling good. Yeah,
Nice.
not too bad.
You're looking pretty
Like-
good.
like- Thank you. Where my Rejected Youth Records.
Nice.
Thank you. I like them. I like my background.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know that fella. He's a good looking
He's
guy.
He's a good guy. So, man, first of all, where are you at?
I live in Kansas City now, but I grew up in Southern California.
Okay. That's good. Now you're a part of you're an interesting young man. You're a part of you're friends with like a lot of other people that I've been affiliated with a little bit, and Deliverance and a whole bunch of other people. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I just actually got back from Vegas Monday and was hanging out with Jimmy and his wife, having drinks, and finally got to meet Larry Farkas from Vengeance for the first time. We've talked a bunch. And hopefully this week he'll be doing my show. So we have similar backgrounds, punk rock, oi, and you're still a Christian though, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My show, like if people don't know why, my show is called Atheists Having Cocktails with Christians, where I grew up in the, Southern California Christian metal scene, was an evangelical kid for a lot of years, and then moved away from it and am now an atheist in my shit probably since my mid 20s. So,
okay.
But I've got to interview a lot of cool people. Just did Jeff from The Crucified yesterday, so that'll be posted in the next few days. So I grew up listening to all the Vengeance and Deliverance and Tourniquet and Mortification and The Crucified and Striper and all that stuff, and was luckily enough, not too far away from Sanctuary Hollywood back in the day when Martinez was the pastor there. So occasionally, when I was like 14, we used to get to go down to Hollywood and when he was head pastor at Sanctuary, do that a few times. So
that's how you know a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of snowballed where I'll say Jimmy from Deliverance, man, was a great catalyst because he was my first person I got to interview, and we just hit it off and have been good buddies since. And I mean, because of Jimmy, so many other people that didn't know me where he put in a good word and was able to help me get more people on the show. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've got to do all the guys from the Crucified now.
I'm jealous of that. I am so jealous. That's actually my favorite punk band.
Yeah, same here. I mean, that was when I was 14. It was my first tattoo I got.
It still is. Yeah, it's still my favorite. I mean, I listen to my son loves the Crucified.
Yeah.
So I've been really trying hard to talk to those guys, but
and just be kind and persistent. And
Larry, I've tried Larry too, Farkas. But
yeah, Larry's just he's Larry. I mean, it's taken. It's
I don't know.
Yeah, interesting guy. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to get Larry on the show for like 2 years now, and Jimmy brought him. Yeah, Jimmy brought him with when we were just in Vegas this weekend. Brought him along, and we got to hang out. And I think it was Larry wanting to kind of feel me out and see what I'm about and whatnot. So after we hung out, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll do your show whenever you want." I'm like, "Cool, man." Even though we have differences in view and religion and whatnot, like still, Vengeance is a great band. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
They were a major influence on me as a 12 to 13-year-old kid,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I still have all 4 of them on my phone.
Yeah.
Downloaded on my phone. They're downloaded. I have it for life.
Yeah, I'm a big vinyl collector, so I've got all of them on vinyl,
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, but like I said, again, man, Jimmy has been nothing but awesome in helping me get guests that probably because they didn't know me and didn't know what I was about. But now that I've done the show too, but also I have a lot of credibility because I was there. You know what I mean? A lot of shows that these guys talk about, I was at that shows as a teenager. So it's
more
been
like
fun.
Don't judge a book by the cover. Is what you're getting at.
No, totally.
Because you do seem like a very pleasant gentleman. You're very kind.
Yeah, I mean, even though I might
have no problem bringing you on the show because I do you're kind. I didn't think you were going to come on here and cause some problems. I just I didn't know exactly what to say.
Yeah, and I've had guys I've reached out to that are
itself,
and I have guys that from other bands that I liked, have replied and like, no, thank you, I don't want to be on your show, and I'm like, cool, hey, that's cool, you know what I mean? It's for whatever personal reasons they have, or that's can't force anybody and can't be mad at it. You don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But I like hearing other people's journeys of why you've either stayed in the realm of Christianity or you walked away from it. So
honestly, I've seen a couple miracles happen that and I've always been a fan of Christ ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my early years. One was in Anaheim at Anaheim Hilton. And then one was with my pastor, a pastor here in town, way back when I was in high school. And I told him to get up and walk. His leg was healed, and there was damage when he got there. You could tell, you could see it all swelled up and all kinds of stuff. And I told him to get up and walk after we said prayer, and I felt it in my soul to say it. I even told my friend, I'm like, dude, I just heard a voice tell me to get up and walk. He goes, well, tell him to get up and walk so we can quit praying.
And the skeptic in me will be like, that's your personal. I mean, but I would have liked, for somebody who doesn't believe, I'd want to talk to that person and see, medical records of what was wrong with his leg. Did you go back to the doctor? Now was it fixed? It's like I say, man.
I get you though.
There's no psychics that are millionaires. The same reason there's no faith healers that are working in kids' hospitals. You know what I mean? Like, because if you were a psychic, man, with the future, you could, do so much cool stuff, but it doesn't happen, I mean, but then, if you're a faith healer, and you should be able to walk into any hospital and take care of those kids. So, I grew up seeing guys like Benny Hinn and, and Pat Robertson and all those phony baloney guys. And I remember going down to Anaheim with my folks and I was like 13.
I believe Billy Graham, though. Billy Graham had a good soul, I believe.
Yeah, I think he was a good person.
He was the good one, dude.
I
just think a lot of those other guys, it actually disgusts me.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusts me even as a Christian.
Sitting in this, huge, Anaheim, amphitheater and seeing very sick people and me asking my mom, this is kind of like, I wasn't wavering, but I just still had questions as a kid. And I asked my mom, like, well, if God's real, why didn't he just come down and heal everybody? Why do you have to have the spectacle on stage? And, and we know that Benny Hinn's nothing but a phony, you know what I mean?
Phony baloney.
Yeah. So So it's just those kind of things where, I was interviewing Alan from Scattered Few, and he was telling me about
I love them.
And I do too. And I think Alan's a cool dude, but,
cool, man.
He was telling me about, faith healings that he's done. And I'm just like, man, it's just one of those points where I have to say, you're deluded or you're lying. You know what I mean? Because you should be able to prove this scientifically that this happened. Or, in this day and age with everything that's documented on a phone, you know what I mean? Why isn't there any proof? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, and everybody has personal experiences, and I'm not going to discount what you believe because that's your gift. Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it's just, when somebody says, I've seen a healing, it's like, yeah, and I've also met dudes that said that they've seen Bigfoot, so.
I had an ingrown toenail.
Yeah, totally,
Hey, I do got some music to go on to, though. You
sure,
told me that you were in a skinhead band.
Yeah.
Tell me about, first of all, I know that you're a bassist, so let's go into that real quick. Tell me about how you got into bass, and then tell me about how you got into your music.
13, wanted to play guitar, got a guitar for Christmas, sucked, hated guitar, didn't like it, couldn't play it, didn't like it, and kind of had it in the closet for about a year and a half, just didn't touch it, took some guitar lessons, and a buddy came over, had a bass, and I was like, hey man, he wanted to mess around with my guitar. And bass just made sense to me. I've never taken a lesson. I don't read music. I just kind of hear and we'll figure it out. So I just would just jam by myself for a long time. And then when I was, just playing stuff. So when I was 19, I joined my 18, no, 19. I was 20 when I joined my first real band. We were a punk band. Called Out of Step because we were big Minor Threat punk rock guys. And that was fun. Did that for a few years, but I'd also been hanging out in the skinhead scene since I was like 17, 18. But back then, in Southern California in the mid 90s, and I'll freely admit that I wasn't hanging out with the good skinheads. You know what I mean? I was hanging out with the boneheads back then.
The boneheads.
Yeah. And, and not because I really had any ideological or political idea, things with them that I agreed with. I was young. I wanted to hang out with homeboys that wanted to fight. You know what I mean? I was just young and pissed off, so I left that shit. I
understand that.
And then kind of got out of that scene and then moved to Kansas City, was playing in my punk rock band, and then met up with a bunch of old, just traditional skinhead dudes that were awesome and got back into it when I was like 20. So, and I'm 49 now. So played this punk band for a while and it was fun. And then, I wanted to start an Oi band, and actually met a singer who was great and a drummer and a guitar player. And then ironically, a customer that was coming into the tattoo shop I worked at played bagpipes. And so we're like, Dropkick was huge. So we're like, man, let's add him to the band. So this was year 2000. So we were going to call ourselves 13 Bones. But then I was like, man, that's just kind of, Broken Bones is already there. There's already enough bands with bones broken in it. And so
almost sounds cheesy.
Yeah, it sounded cheesy. Like, so I remember I was at work one day.
You think gothic, you think skeletons.
Yeah.
Or something type of thing. Yeah, I get you.
We had a homeboy that made homemade brass knuckles for everybody in the crew. And so he brought me mine. And I was like, brass knuckles. I was like, man, it would be cool if like everybody was beating the crap out of some bonehead with brass knuckles like a choir. And I was like, brass knuckle choir. So that's where we got the name. So that was the name of my Oi band. And you can find us on YouTube. We recorded one record, but it was so horrible. We only made like 50 copies, and I don't even know where. I don't even have one. But it was recorded in 3 days in a basement.
You can have mine.
Oh, it was so bad. I remember my homeboy, my guitar player, was a DJ, and one night I showed up at the bar and he threw on one of our songs, and I was just like, "Turn it off!" Not that the music was bad; the recording was horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in a basement with a one-armed guy that was mixing us for like 3 days. Yeah, he was an engineer and he had a little studio in his house. We had no budget, dude. You never make any money in Oi back then. There was nobody,
They don't either. They don't today either, really.
Yeah, unless you're the Templars or maybe Haymaker or maybe Booze and Glory now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So we recorded it and it was bad. So. Yeah, we were but anyway, in 2004, we got to go play this big Oi Fest in Atlanta called Spring Broke. The whole show is up on YouTube. If you look up Spring Broke 2004, the big documentary. I saw that you interviewed them. What was it? The Antagonizers from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played with them that show, and it was like their first or second show back in 2004. When they were the first band of the day, we were like the fourth band of the first day. But they recorded 2 or 3 songs of each band and kind of did an interview. So the whole thing is up on YouTube. So Brass Knuckle Choir, we're like,
send me the link if you can.
Okay,
when we get done.
So we're like, I think we're
My
like
memory.
6th or 7th band in. But we did. I mean, we played a lot of great shows. I mean, we played with Blood for Blood. We played with.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, we played with Lars Friction and the Bastards. The Forgotten. A ton of just great punk bands. I can't even. We were playing probably 5-6 shows every 2 months for like 2 years. We got to do Flogging Molly's backstage after party. We played for them one time. They were cool guys. And I did that from 2000 till 2005. And then I was just kind of tired of playing Oi, and I just wanted something a little bit more challenging. So I started playing in a hardcore band called Bully Rag, and very sick of it all, very, New York style hardcore. And then after that, played in another band called One Blood, which was very like beat down hardcore. And we did that. So I haven't been in a band since probably about 10 years now. I'm focused on my work, and just, the scene's different. I'm older, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the energy to go out and spend all night doing a show making $12, you know what I mean? So
you're more studio type of.
No, I'm just
now, or
no, I haven't played with anybody. No, in like 10 years.
Oh, you don't mind doing shows then?
No, I mean, I love the process of doing shows, but at this point in my age, it's not worth it for me to go play a show and then either give us a pitcher of beer or no doubt. You know what I mean? So especially, back in the day, I didn't own my own business. So it was cool if I left work a little early or had to do this or this. Now I'm just more focused on my business. I wouldn't say that I would do a band. I would totally do a band if it came with the right circumstances, with the right people.
Yeah. That was funny. One time I hosted a open mic night type of thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'll start it off with a few of my songs, type of thing. But no one ended up playing the whole night. It was I played for 3 hours.
DJ, or you play? You actually playing, or?
Actually played my own music for 3 hours. I only repeated 2 songs.
Oh, wow.
In that whole process, that were the first 2 songs that I started off with. Because I'm sure that those people that heard that were already gone, so I could go back and do a full circle and do those 2 songs, and then it was closing. And all I did was for 2 or 3 beers, something like that, and that was it. It's like nobody involved. Nothing.
Oh, I hear you. I mean, and that's the thing. At the end of Brass Knuckle, I mean, we were playing with. I mean, here in Kansas City, we had a venue called the El Torion, which was our local kind of CBGBs. Great punk rock venue. I mean, we were bringing in 200 to 300 local kids a show, and just nobody would pay us, and it just. And our bagpipe player was driving, almost an hour back and forth to shows all the time. And he was like, hey, man, can I at least get some gas money? And it just came to a point where it was like, we talked to the promoter that was there at the time, and we're like, dude, we need to get paid something, And he's like, I can't do it. And I'm like, cool, man, then we just can't play for you anymore, And I will say, the guy gave us really good shows. I mean, we got to open up for The Business. We got to open up for like I said, Lars Fredrickson, AF one, or Roger Merritt, The Disasters. Not AF. We never got to play with AF. We opened up for Stigma's band one time. Just ton. I got Pistol Grip, Kings of Nothing. And just so many good punk rock bands that I can't. I mean, I've done so many shows I can't even remember. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. So you've been around.
Yeah, I've been around a long time. So
what got you to now? You're working on Vengeance? New Vengeance?
That project is in the toilet. It's not happening.
The toilet. Okay.
Roger's not well enough to do anything at this point in time. He's still
sad.
He's still sick, but it just for me it wasn't working because I'm used to working with a band, and so we had our drummer named Chad from the band Himza. He's in Portland, and he was going to do the drumming, and then me and my guitar player Chris, who was in One Blood with me, we were going to do bass guitar, and then Roger was going to fill in the vocals and do. But it was one of those things where we couldn't really come together as what we were going to sound like because Roger would be like, I want you to sound like Napalm. I'm like, cool, I can play that. But then he'd want to sound like Archangel or something really technical. I'm like, that's not what I play. I'm not that good of a bass player. You want to play fast and angry and metal, I can do that. And so, we jammed for about a month and a half, and we just couldn't think. We just, it just wasn't feeling it, and especially with Roger sick, it was just
not on the same page.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and with Roger being sick, I was like, well, if this isn't going to happen, then there's no reason for us to keep working. Because if I'm going to put that much effort into a project, I would do my own project.
Especially a band you grew up liking.
Yeah, I was
want to put your heart into it.
Yeah, I was stoked when Roger asked me. I was like, yeah, shit, this is great, but it would be different if he was well and like we could maybe get together and jam once in a while, or he could at least throw some riffs and throw me ideas of what. Because Roger, that's the thing. Vengeance is Roger's band. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
So, and then it came to a thing where it just we were talking one night and he was like, well, I might have these people on this record and these people. I'm like, well, if we're not going to be members of the band fully, then what am I doing?
Exactly.
So it just was something that just dissolved, and I'm fine with it. No hard feelings. It's just me and
exactly.
Still talk. I just talked to him 2 or 3 days ago. So
if he's doing well, is he doing?
Yeah. His hair's growing back. I guess he's getting ready to go into the hospital for a month to do some sort of like stem cell something or whatnot. Okay. So I hope him the best, and when he gets better, I'm going to be out in California in July, and hopefully I was going to do it last year when I was out there, but he was too sick. So hopefully this year he's feeling better. I'm going to go down and spend the day with him and go have lunch with him and mess around and have a good time. But yeah, just, that's the thing with Roger. I was like, look, man, I need you to guide me. If I'm doing a band I want to do, it's going to be completely different than probably what your vision is.
Yeah, exactly. Because it, like you said, it is his band.
Yeah.
It got signed over to him,
mm-hmm.
And it was his idea for that noise, that metal, that thrash, was his
idea. Roger Martinez flair, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that.
I can't imagine anybody else doing it, to be honest.
Well, I guess in this summer, Vengeance is getting back together with Luke Ester from Tourniquet.
Luke Easter, Tourniquet.
Yeah, Easter. That's it. I didn't know if it was Esther or Easter. Which I like Luke's vocals for Tourniquet. I don't think it's going to work for Vengeance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when they brought
It'll
Scott.
Be different. Yeah, it'll be different.
Yeah, when they did the Once Dead thing with Scott, I thought Scott is a great vocalist from Ultimatum. But if they were doing like a grindcore death metal project, I thought that his vocals would have fit great. I just don't think they worked for what they were too guttural for what Vengeance was.
Yeah, I got you. I definitely agree.
Yeah, but hey, have fun with the show, man.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they have a good time with it. I talked with what's his name? Oh my goodness, I'm such a bad person. The bassist of Vengeance.
Roger Del Martin.
Yeah, Roger Dale. That was a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. He was telling me about, because he had the paperwork of
mm-hmm.
signed over the contract. I guess he was in charge of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I heard about that. So
yeah,
it's in my interview with him.
Yeah, no, I will. I've listened to that one. Yeah. There's so many different sides of the story, and I don't want anybody to think that like I just would take Martinez's word for it over. Everything gets skewed. It's been 40 years almost. You know what I mean? Not everything. Not everything is going to be crystal clear remembrance. Shit, I don't remember 10 years ago half the shows I was doing. But I don't know. It's one of those things where anytime money gets into anything, again, going back to it, like when money and ministry become one, things get fucked up.
Yeah,
things
they do.
things don't go right.
Exactly. It's like same with politics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, money
Politics and
corrupts
religion are
ultimately.
both the same way. Yeah, when it comes to that idea, definitely.
Yeah,
I
but I
agree
mean,
with that.
definitely. I mean, I hope somebody records the Vengeance show this summer because I definitely want to watch it and see. But I mean, shit. When I was talking to Larry, Larry's like, "Dude, we're not rehearsing. We're just gonna go play." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm having to relearn all these songs right now." He's like, "I haven't played these songs in 30 years." I'm like, "Ooh, this is gonna be neat."
It's gonna be fun. That's awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to look at. Uh, yeah, Luke Easter is a pretty good guy too, man. I mean, he came on the third album. I don't know if you do that, but
Fourth.
oh, he told me third.
There was
The one right after psychosurgery.
I was no, I think
The
yeah,
perpetual something.
pathologic oculodysthesis.
Yeah, that one. He's on that one.
I thought Guy was still on that one, or I know that during the tour at Cornerstone, Guy left and he took over then. But I think Guy is actually the vocalist on the third one.
I don't know.
He became the full-time singer on Vanishing Lessons. I could be wrong. I mean, shit.
I swear he said that he was on the third album.
Let me see here. Let me see
Hey,
that.
you Google that. Google that
That's
here.
what I'm gonna do because I still thought Guy Ritter was
I don't know.
tourniquet, pathological ocular dissonance.
Yeah, I'm remembering that. They always had all these technical, weird, medical names and stuff like that. Freaking Ted Kirkpatrick always came up with the most interesting stuff. Oh, and while I'm talking about him, rest in peace, Ted. Rest in peace, Ted.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he was talented, boy. Oh man, he could speak a different language.
That was the last album Guy was on.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I know that by the time they hit Cornerstone, Guy had left the band and they brought Luke in to do those shows, and I think that's when Luke took over.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
See, you learn something new every day.
It's true. Yeah, Tourniquet's still a great band. They're the carcass of Christian metal. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're badass.
Mm-hmm.
So, you working on any kind of projects right now?
No. I mean,
You're a tattoo artist, huh?
No, I'm a body piercer.
Oh, you're a body.
I own a tattoo shop, but I do the body piercing, and I have artists that work for me. So.
Oh, you own it?
Yeah. I'm the owner of the studio, and I've been a piercer since 1993. So I've been about 32 years now.
I bet you see some areas of people that you wish you never see.
I've seen the glory and I've seen the depths, my friend. I've seen a lot of gross shit.
All right, man. You got to give me one. Give me one of the worst.
All right. I'm not going to get super graphic.
Don't worry. It's 18 and older for this.
All right.
I don't let kids watch this.
I'll give you my two worst ones.
Okay.
One was a guy who came in. No. Sorry, that was a different. Okay. One was a very large, very robust African American woman who wanted her belly button pierced.
Oh.
And as I'm cleaning it and whatnot, there was a dead cockroach in her belly button that I had.
Oh, dear Jesus!
I was like, "What is?" I thought it was just like tummy gunk, and I was like, "What?" And I mean, she was big lady.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, dokie."
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you even tell her?
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm like, well, I kindly was like, with your hygiene, if you're gonna get this pierced, you really have to be careful for infection, And I mean, she ended up getting it done. I don't know how it turned out, but I was just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one's much worse, though.
All right, I'm ready.
So, this little weird construction worker guy who was probably 5'2" in every direction came in and he wants to get a Prince Albert, which is a male genital piercing.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, yeah.
I got a reverse Prince Albert.
Okay, yeah. So I'm like, all right, no sweat, man. They're not a difficult piercing, so I'm like, cool. So I have him on the table, and he drops trow, and I mean, he's got a dick like this, and it's uncircumcised, which makes things harder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get it?
I pulled so I pull back the foreskin to see how much room, and the guy had a little pre-cum happen.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, that's fucking it. I'm done. We're not doing anything. And so he just kind of is embarrassed. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's cool, man, but we're done.
I'd still charge his ass.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I totally
for
did.
A happy ending.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you get nothing, man. I'm like, and shit, that was back in 98 when, fucking Prince Alberts were like $200 back then. You know what I mean?
I did by myself.
Ooh, you're a brave man.
I had like 40 piercings at one time.
I had quite a.
I got bull. That's it. Now the Prince. That's it.
Yeah, I had
earrings,
tongue, septum, ear stretch, just time out. Just like, all right, I'm done with this one. Done with this one.
And the little braid.
I had a little braid. I had a PA. But yeah.
My side nose.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, homie, we're done. I'm like, have a good day. So those were probably my two worst, but there's still just a lot of just gross people out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's sick. You see the skeleton? I had one through his nose. Yeah, I had a nose ring through him.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
I love doing surface piercings. They're so much fun.
Oh, God. Oh boy, you heard it, folks. Okay, that's pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
yeah. So you're pretty much just doing it full time on your. What's the name of your business, by the way?
I'm just not going to say, because I know there's a lot. I don't want a lot of people that watch my show to give me bad reviews because they don't like me. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
gotcha. Okay.
So it's no disrespect to anybody. It just, I don't want people that watch my show that don't like what I have to say bombard my business. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and in this day and age with tough guy warriors that want to talk shit on the internet, I was thinking about that because Roger was like, "Oh man, we should do a thing with your shop," and I told him, I'm like, I want to keep my shop out of this because that's my professional thing. That's not has anything to do with my beliefs or my show or anything like that. So, if people are watching my show and then they look me up and find my shop, like, fuck this guy's a commie or a piece of shit or whatever. So I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
Good. That's all right. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Oh, thank you for having me on your show, man. And this is the first time I've been on somebody's show. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just do my show. Jimmy, Roger. Everybody that I've interviewed, and they've all been super cool. It's funny because last summer, it was last summer. I went down to that not Immortal Fest, some fest in Springfield, Missouri, because I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas. It was only like 3-hour drive, so I'm like, I'm gonna go hang out with Jimmy and George Ochoa from Deliverance, who I interviewed, and he was the first guy I met in the scene when I was 14. And my first major Christian show was Deliverance, Scattered Few, and the Crucified at the Reseda Country Club when I was in like 1990. Yeah. And
I saw the Violent Burning. Now, no, Altar Boys was my first show. And then Violent Burning was my second.
Yeah. And because of George, a few months later, my family moved around a little bit back then. We ended up moving to Colorado Springs, but I kept in contact with George. And when Vengeance came, this is 92, came through and played Denver, I went up and helped him unload that day and set up the stage. And that was like the first show I ever worked when I was like 15. So
Ooh, cool, man.
Yeah, so like George was integral in me meeting everybody, but George was a hard interview. Me and him do not agree on anything. And then when we went and saw them play at that church festival thing, Jim from the Crucified was great, but they were all kind of like Jimmy's cool as shit. Don't get me wrong, but everybody else was kind of like, Jimmy, why are you hanging out with the atheist guy? It's like, dude, I'm just a guy. We might disagree politically or religiously or whatnot, but we can still have just a decent conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing, that with the politics, all that stuff, it used to be a private thing where you can keep it to yourself and still be surrounded by people and that you actually love, even if they're different.
Mhm.
It's. I mean, we look past all that. They didn't ask me, "What do you believe? What do you believe?" It wasn't like that before. You could vote for who you want and not have any repercussions. It was just everybody goes on their own business, and no big deal.
I think that's what's
not like that no more.
Yeah,
it's very hateful.
We need to be able to come together as people, as humans, and be able to have conversations, even if we disagree.
Despite differences.
If people remember, the mid to late '90s was great in politics. I mean, even though we had a Democratic president, Clinton, I don't agree with everything he did, but we had one of the best surpluses of money. I mean, we had a great economy. Back then, every politician knew that you're not going to get everything you want. So work with the other side and make it something for everybody to work with.
There you go. Yeah, we got to work together, no matter
my way or your way. Let's come together and make it our way. That's good for everyone, not just this party, this interest group, this lobbyist, this church, this faction, whatever it is.
We're supposed to make each other better.
Exactly.
Iron sharpens iron. I say that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's actually from the Bible, but
it is. That is a good verse. You know what I mean?
It is. It makes a lot of sense.
Hold your brothers accountable. When they're messing up, you make people accountable for what their misdeeds are, and hopefully they learn from them.
Exactly. That's right. Make each other better, man.
It's true.
It's not supposed to be a bunch of competition, man. We're all I'm a musician. You're a musician. We're gifted and we do what we do, write our music and enjoy it, but it shouldn't be a competition, man.
Yeah.
Really shouldn't, because we all have different passions. We all have different dreams. We all have different views of things. We're never going to be a cookie cutter type of thing. It can't be like that. Because even people that are skinhead, there's still branches in skinheads.
Yeah.
There's the left, there's the right. There's the ones in the middle that just want to play rock and roll.
Yeah. But I will say the one thing that I'm going to say it to the masses if they agree with me. If you're a Nazi, you're not a skinhead. Won't call you one because you're not.
You're not. You're
a bonehead. You're a peckerwood. You're an idiot. Yeah. There are definitely commie skins and leftist skins and rightist skins, and that's fine. Politics really play no issue in the core values of what a skinhead is. It's working class. It's take care of your own. It's work hard. It's have some pride in who you are and do the best.
Exactly.
With great Jamaican ska music and reggae to dance to, or some good oi to mosh to,
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody watching this show, if you are white power, don't call yourself a skinhead because you're not.
Right. You heard it here, friends.
Yep.
More rock, less cock. Here on the Roosta Show, we had Simon. I do appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
No problem. And I'll have you on my show, and we'll go more into the Christian aspect.
Sure.
I want to hear your journey of Christianity and where you are and how you came to it, and what your thoughts and your opinions are as an adult.
Sounds good to me.
So we'll set that up, brother.
Yes, sir. And send me those links if you can. I appreciate it.
I'll get it sent to you.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bless you. You take care of yourself and bless your family.
Have a good night, brother.
Yep. Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay, it's time for someone's getting some say. How can I live that way to me? It all comes down to choice, one fight. It's just a waste of time, yeah. There's nothing you can do. Why should it bother you? For decency is right. But who is really right? Regress no way. The sun, when it hits the first outset, you would call me queer, wake up. To human rights and see the truth. And your hypocrisy, I bet. Another majority. And what they want to be. And their democracy. And just motherfuckers for me. Regress no way. I see, but I guess it's not true. But there is not a truth. That if we are so free, I'll do what's right for me.